Hi, I'm Paddycake, and this is my best friend, Brent. We've been besties for a while now, and one of the things we bonded over was our shared love of Madlibs. On Christmas a few years ago, Brent pitched the idea to me to create a show where we use AI art to accentuate the humor of Madlibs. 3 weeks later, we started filming, and we haven't stopped since. Through this project, we hope to share our weird humor and to highlight both the unexpected beauty and complete absurdity of AI-generated art. Welcome to MidJourney Madlibs. Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please come in and make yourself at home. My name is Paddycake, and welcome to Paddycake Games and another episode of MidJourney Madlibs. And with me, as always, is my best friend and co-host, Brent. How you doing tonight?
I am swell. And good.
Swelling good. Stuffing things. Awesome. Well, we're not going to waste any time. You guys know how this works. We send each other Madlibs. We send each other the answers to go into the Madlibs. We then take those sentences. We run them through MidJourney. We create art. We get together. We share the art with each other. And we laugh. And that's the show. And we hope you like it. And if you do like it, look down below the video. There's a button just for you. It's a thumbs up button. It just means you like the video. And if you're clicking on that, you might as well go right next to it and click the subscribe button. That'll certainly help out the channel. And if you want to be super thorough, you can click the notification bell. And that'll let you know when new videos get posted to the channel. And if you look in the description of the video, there's a whole bunch of social media links. There's also a link to a Discord. Come and join us on the Discord. We can talk about AI art or anything else that your heart desires. Brent, you're
especially
up first.
During the off season.
Yeah, Brent, you're up first. I'm excited about this because I know what your theme is, and I know what book it came from. So I'm chomping at the bit to see this one.
I wish I could just give y'all 30 images, and you wouldn't be disappointed. But I guess you ought to know what my art style was for this week, and of course, all you would have to do would be to watch last week's episode and know. But hey, I won't make you guess. Tonight's Madlib is in the art style of 1980s heavy metal rock and roll album covers. The cover art for 1980s heavy metal albums is iconic and instantly recognizable, often featuring vivid and fantastical imagery that reflects the themes and aesthetic of the music itself. Here's what people should know about this unique art style. Fantasy and sci-fi themes. Heavy metal album covers from the 1980s often featured fantastical and sci-fi themes, transporting viewers to otherworldly realms with epic battles, mythical creatures, and futuristic landscapes. These images are inspired by a wide range of influences, including science fiction literature, fantasy art, and mythology. Bold and dynamic illustrations. The artwork of heavy metal album covers is characterized by its bold and dynamic illustrations, which command attention with their larger-than-life imagery and vibrant colors. These illustrations are often highly detailed with intricate line work and elaborate compositions that draw viewers into the world of the album. Iconic characters and symbols. Many heavy metal album covers feature iconic characters and symbols that have become synonymous with the genre. From menacing demons and warriors to powerful gods and goddesses, these characters embody the spirit of heavy metal and often serve as visual representations of the music's themes of power, rebellion, and escapism. Surreal and psychedelic imagery. Some heavy metal album covers embrace surreal and psychedelic imagery, blurring the lines between reality and fantasy. These covers often feature mind-bending landscapes, abstract patterns, and hallucinatory colors that create a sense of otherworldly wonder and exploration. Their influence on pop culture. The artwork on heavy metal album covers has a significant influence on pop culture, inspiring countless artists, filmmakers, and designers. Its bold and imaginative style has been embraced by fans around the world and has become synonymous with the heavy metal genre itself. Overall, the art style of cover art for the 1980s heavy metal bands is a testament to the genre's commitment to creativity, individuality, and artistic expression. Through its bold imagery and fantastical themes, heavy metal album art continues to captivate audiences and inspire new generations of artists to push the boundaries of visual storytelling. Okay, Well, why don't you enjoy this crazy Mad Lib I'm about to give you in the style of heavy metal albums in the world of Stranger Things. This one is Welcome to Hawkins. Hawkins, you see? Looking to settle down in a small, angelic town.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. And yeah, it's definitely 80's album. 80's metal album covers. Could be rock album cover. Could also be like Christian rock, possibly.
Yeah, especially with the church. And you're not sure if that's a bad or good angel because we don't know what angels look like for real. I mean, we got descriptions. But also, one thing to note about this one is I don't believe I made any mention of Stranger Things. But the red light going all through it was just too perfect not to use this.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. The red lightning is very reminiscent of what we see in the Upside Down.
One with charm, friendly dice, and a real sense of community.
Boy, I'd like to live in a town with friendly dice because my dice are not friendly to me. Wow. So this is one of those bands that played a lot of D&D.
Yeah.
Their album cover is a D&D town with all kinds of weird stuff happening. It looks like the guys on the right are like taking a shower. It's like the thing coming out of the wall kind of looks like a shower head and it's all steamy over there.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of wild. Then look no further than Star-Nosed Mullins, Indiana.
Oh.
Look no further than Star-Nosed Mullins, Indiana. Yeah, so they had replace Hawk with an animal, and he gave me Star-Nosed Mole.
Star-Nosed Mole. Yeah, well, I'm trying not to use the same animals over and over and over again. After 3 seasons, I'm kind of running out of animals. So this is what's the band that does all the Christmas concerts?
Grateful Dead.
Well, Grateful Dead also,
like Mannheim Steamroller.
Yes. So this is like Mannheim Steamroller's album cover because I think one of the members of the band kind of looks like this.
With a modest population of 17, you'll feel like a local in no time.
Oh yeah, it's barely a restaurant. Well, it is a restaurant, obviously.
Or a nightclub.
Yeah, it could be. Oh gosh, it's way bigger on the inside. Like there's an entire city skyline inside that building.
Or it could just be like wall paint. But yeah,
it could also be the reflection of what's behind the photographer as well.
It's very interesting how Stranger Things and heavy metal rock and roll albums have very similar motifs without having to tell us. Star-Nosed Mullins is a place where kids can play, ride their bikes, and I've been interrupted.
Okay.
I like it. It's really kind of cool.
We're riding our bikes into like the frozen tundras of the north, and that's the Aurora Borealis we're heading towards, or the sunrise, where the land of the midnight sun or something. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it is very interesting. And if you look at one of the kids on the bike, it could definitely be Dustin.
Mm-hmm. The one in the front on the right-hand side.
Star-Nosed Mullins is a place where kids can play, ride their bikes, and what's that? You've heard the news reports about missing coconuts, like Sheriff Toadster Byers and Barbara Holland, to name a few.
Oh, those are some weird animals.
I'm trying to imagine what rock and roll band would have this. Maybe like a Warrant knockoff.
Is that a hat on her head? Please tell me that's a hat on her head.
At first I was like, why are they seeing all these frogs every... Oh, yeah.
Toadster. But they all have this weird, like, hands coming up. Like, weird reptilian hands coming up and holding them. Which is really creepy.
Yeah. Well, perhaps you haven't heard that Sheriff Toadster was found safe and sound.
Oh.
Where? And what's that?
Well, I guess that's Sheriff Toadster. I don't know what it's in front of him.
Yeah, the one-legged frog head.
Right, the one-legged frog head.
Say, do you love to shop? You should visit Movie Court Mall, the town's latest cutting destination.
Wow, more lightning. More weird reddish lightning.
Yeah.
How interesting that that's a through line through the whole thing.
I think we're in Miami or something. This doesn't look like Hawkins.
It looks very Florida. It's very Florida. Even the rain says Florida.
This doesn't really look like an album cover all that. Well, I mean, I guess it could be an album cover, but it's not super interesting as far as album covers
Yeah.
go. Like, it wouldn't make me really interested in the band.
Well, definitely, I got a lot of pictures of very cool-looking malls, but it was really hard to get anything too crazy, but we'll see. From the tech-savvy light switch shack to the cinema, there's something for...
Oh.
So there we go with light switch shack.
The light switch shack. It looks really dirty. Like big piles of dirt piled up on stuff. I wouldn't shop there.
Maybe it's like insulation or some sort of acoustic material.
And is that the owner of the store? Because if that's the owner of the store, I'm kind of scared.
Maybe it's just one of the clerks. From the tech-savvy light switch shack to the cinema, there's something for... You want to hear about the laboratory?
Mm-hmm.
Demo orangutans? And rotting sushi crops all over town?
Sushi. Well, there's the demo orangutans. Yep. And I don't see any sushi, but is that a big perfume bottle on the shelf by him? It's like a giant perfume bottle.
It does, or some kind of weird hand soap. It's liquor. It doesn't look like a laboratory or really a kitchen.
No, but they're dressed. They're dressed
like
they're dressed like chefs. But
Russian spies, the forehead flare, magnets badly falling off refrigerators.
The forehead flare. I love it. Oh, there she is. The forehead flare.
Oh, I think that's one of the Russian spies.
Okay, she could be. Yeah, she looks like a superhero.
A little bit, yeah. She's Russian spy. It's a knockoff of Black Widow. Where are you hearing all of this? Let's just focus on the Fire Pit Court Mall. They've got another mall?
Yeah, apparently there's a movie court mall and a fire pit court mall. The movie court mall is much nicer.
Yeah.
The fire pit court mall's kind of run down.
Yeah, that might be the old one, and I don't know why we're talking about it.
Right.
Except for one thing. Have I mentioned the food court has a Scoops Lacoste Interante? Oh, this isn't the right one. Lacoste Interante. What the hell?
So let me explain Lacoste Interante.
Please.
There's a trend in AI where people make comics and the comics almost get the words right. And that was supposed to be lactose intolerant. So you're going to drink milk in front of me when I have Lacoste Interante? And that was so funny to me that I started running prompts with just Lacoste Interante to see what it gave me, and it gave me all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's where Lacoste Interante comes from.
Which is really funny since we're talking about an ice cream shop. So basically it's Scoops Lactose Intolerant?
Right?
Oh,
Scoops Lactose Intolerance. That's I would not buy any ice cream from these people.
Well, guess what?
Is it time for honorable mentions?
It is time for honorable mentions, and look what we have.
Wow, some of those are cool.
Looking to settle down in a small, angelic town?
Nice. Yeah, that is a pretty perfect album cover. I like it.
I love it. And there's another one that's very similar to this that almost made it. Yes, with a modest population of 17, you'll feel like a local in no time. It's 11, but you know, some of the rest of them aren't around. And I don't know what kind of band this is.
It's like Blue Man Group, but in red.
It definitely looks like a cult of some sort.
Yeah, kind of.
Star Moles Mullins is a place where kids can play, ride their bikes, and run for their lives.
Run for their lives, apparently, right? Holy crap.
Look at their faces, too. The boy is turning into something, I think, because his arms are way too hairy for a child. Heard the news reports about missing coconuts, like Sheriff Toadster Byers and Barbara Holland.
So is that Sheriff Toadster or Barbara Holland?
I think it's all in one. I don't know. Maybe the demo orangutans in the laboratory.
Oh,
They
God. They are wretched looking. My God. It's like undead monkeys.
Those three in the back with their eyes that are kind of glossed over.
Right.
And then even the ones in the front, they all look like they're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
It's...
and they're
I don't know
all
if that's
weird,
a carrot
spindly,
or a knife.
The weird spindly fingers some of them have. Ugh.
Okay, let's get out of Hawkins. Why don't we?
That was fun, though. That was really fun. That was a good theme. That was a good art theme. We should probably bring that back at some point. Maybe put it on a style next season.
I liked it a whole lot. So
all right.
It was very fun.
All right. Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Lady Shablagoose has one more story to share with us this season.
And now, Country Fried Fairy Tales with Mother Shablagoose.
Well, hello. What do you turn this off? You caught me doing a little bit of cleaning. But I guess it's time for us to finish our story about Cornelius Crow. So you remember that the old widow had realized that this crow might be hurt, and she was going to go to her house and get her a cage. She told him to hold still. But you know what? He surprised her, and by the time she came out of the garage with that cage, that crow was standing in her very yard. It had followed her all the way from that tree. It knew she was the one to take care of it. And it wasn't long before that's just what she was doing. You see, Miss Jeannie, she helped that crow fix up his feathers. Well, his wing. I mean, his feathers weren't broken. I mean, some of them did. So you see, Miss Jeannie, she fixed his wing right up. But he didn't seem to want to go nowhere. So she kept talking to him, and he was learning her words almost as fast as she could talk to him. So then she tried to read to him. He seemed real interested in the words that she was reading, and he'd sit on her shoulder and read right along with her on time. At first, she thought he was repeating words, but then she opened up a different storybook, and he was reading right along with her on this story that he'd never heard before. She knew she'd come across quite a unique animal, and so she just kept telling it stories and teaching it things. And one of his favorite types of stories were those scary ones. And she loved scary stories. She would always tell her students scary stories, whenever they had some free time. They loved her stories, and so did Cornelius Crow. He listened intently, and sometimes he'd even repeat things back to her, often to her surprise. He certainly did like Edgar Allan Poe, but he really, really loved the stories about the scary things that happened in the South. And you know what? I think that's going to be a great idea for next season. We are going to go over some of the wonderful and scary stories that happened down here in the South, and Cornelius Crow is going to give us a little bit of help. So as he grew, he finally started flying out into the forest and making friends with the animals. But instead of just disappearing, he'd always come back. And sometimes he'd bring his friends with him. Deer, a rabbit. Sometimes it was a herd animal. And so Miss Jeannie, she would help all the animals that Cornelius would bring her way. And she'd tell them stories too. But nobody listened quite as intensely as Cornelius did. So, how excited are you to see what we are going to have next season? Me and Cornelius Crow are going to give you Scary Tales with Lady Shablagoose, but this time they're going to be Southern Fried, just like our fairy tales. So y'all come back next season to hear Southern Fried Scary Tales with Lady Shablagoose and Cornelius Crow. Bye, y'all. Can't wait to see y'all next season.
Well, thank you, Lady Shablagoose, for coming by. I'm looking forward to everything you're going to be bringing us next season as well. It's going to be awesome. But it's my turn now. It's my turn, and I'm excited because I have a great Madlib and some pretty funny pictures. So this Madlib is called World Peace and Other Promises, and my art style is in the style of Yoji Shinkawa, and it's style blended with Happy Pizza Fun Time. Yoji Shinkawa, a Japanese illustrator and character designer, was born in Hiroshima on Christmas Day in 1971 and attended Kyoto Seika University, which is a private art university offering courses in art design and manga. In school,
Shinkawa majored in Western painting with a specialization in oil painting. However, he did not limit his studies to only this. He learned many different techniques of drawing and sculpting, which would aid him in his career later. Shinkawa first pictured his career as a manga artist, but felt what he learned in school was the wrong skill set. So instead, he shifted his career path and applied for a position at Konami of Tokyo, one of the leading entertainment businesses in Japan. In 1994, he was hired by Konami and has worked for them ever since. In an interview, Shinkawa stated that his love for games was the main reason he applied. He stated, "Back when I was young, all the game characters were simple, like manga characters. So I sought to create bigger, realer, more hard-boiled characters and environments for the game industry. That's why I applied." And he did exactly what he set out to do. After working as a debugger for the PC-98 version of Police Knots, he moved up to art director for the later console ports of the game, and then took on the role of lead character and mecha designer for the Metal Gear series, designing the now iconic look of the much-beloved Solid Snake. Shinkawa's style consists of flowing black lines, energetic brushstrokes, and minimalistic uses of color. His wispy, expressive portraits not only show the character, but also suggest their personality. In addition to his character designs and illustrations for the Metal Gear franchise, Shinkawa has worked with Hideo Kojima on Death Stranding and the upcoming Death Stranding 2 as well. Few artists can claim to have created the iconic look of a character known the world over, and Shinkawa is one of them. So let's see how well MidJourney can do in my Madlib in his style.
Our school is voting for the wet president.
There he is again.
There he is again. He can't escape. He shows up in my Madlibs all the time.
Yeah, he's like the only president there's ever been.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Who are these guys?
I don't know. They're like weird sea monsters. And one of them has like something, like the liquid is popping out of an appendage that's coming out of his head. It's almost like a champagne cork popping. Oh, it's weird. Okay, well anyway.
Oh my god, my mouth is black.
Let's listen in as the gooey candidate Glenn makes his final campaign speech.
Oh no.
Here he is again! Again! Only this time it's anime Trump.
This is so bizarre. It's almost making the same face as the man.
I know! It's so weird. It's so weird. And who are these other people around them? And why is the pizza real and everything else is animated?
And I can totally see that as on a Japanese commercial.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I could see that happening. My fellow jalapenos, I know the fluffy changes you want and clumsily deserve. Yeah.
Oh, it's Pickle Rick!
Latest into the
Pepper
future! I love the one on the left has this one giant tooth that's just sticking out. It's a wonderful little character thing.
I just think it's funny that the stems look like feet. That's great.
and arms
really...
and hands. Yeah, I thought it was cute. If elected, I promise to put an end to putrid homework and pop bandanas.
Oh my god.
There's so much weird in this picture. It's like Showbiz Pizza had an explosion all over the place.
Yeah, it does get really weird back there. I mean, we've got something like the Statue of Liberty with really skinny legs playing with like the is that like ZZ Top, Uncle Sam? I'm hungry.
There's a lot of pizza in this picture, and it doesn't all look appetizing. The one in the center, like the pepperoni one in the center, that's okay. The one on the left, the dog is with the dog bowl flipped upside down on its head as a helmet with sunglasses, and he's wearing a kimono for some reason. That one's okay. I will expand the lunch menu to include side salad burgers and cheese stuffed best friends.
What the hell? Oh, that's hilarious. And
You mean you've never taken two, meat patties and spread peanut butter in between them and made little deviled egg eyeballs to put on top to make it look like a face? Just me? Okay.
no. And then, what is that? And is his tongue like just a piece of raw meat?
Oh, no, his tongue is a pickle. It's a pickle slice.
Oh, like one of those Kool-Aid pickles.
Yeah,
or
it could
something.
be. Or maybe they just, put some red food coloring on it or something.
Okay, we didn't really get any pizza in this one, or fish.
No, we really didn't,
art.
which is weird.
But it's hilarious.
I will fill every drinking fountain with chocolate hippo sweat.
Oh,
Of course, it's not a hippo, it's a bear. Beggars
Small
can't
beggars.
be choosers, right? And I didn't realize that the chocolate hippo sweat was pink. It's coming out of the fountain.
hippo sweat is pink.
Hippo sweat is pink, is it?
Yes. If you want to put a disclaimer on there, but yes, I'm very pretty sure that hippo sweat is pink.
I will see to it that the only acceptable exercise in gym class is dodge lamp. I chose this one because it's very much in Shinkawa's style, but also it's literally dodgeball with a glowing ball. It's dodge lamp. They're playing dodge lamp.
It's kind of
great.
cool, actually. I dig it. I mean,
Finally, for every bright blue student in detention,
no one looks particularly bright blue.
no.
I mean, there's a few bright blue aprons, but I like that it looks like they all have pizzas in front of them, but they're
Yes, but they're
square
like,
pieces of paper. Or something.
yeah, like made of cloth or paper or something. Like they're drawing pizzas or something. But they're all wearing aprons, so it's like they're making the pizzas. Is that what
Maybe
their
they're making
detention
square
is?
pizzas.
They're making square pizzas in detention. That's their penance.
And then
you know?
the school sells them for money. It's like,
it's a fundraiser. That's right. It's a drive. It's a money drive.
if you're a bad kid, you gotta make pizzas for the fundraisers.
I sometimes swear this. First of all, before we even say the sentence, thank you for these words. I know you had no idea that these words would all be in the same sentence, but you gave me 3 words that rhymed, and it's amazing. So here we go.
Oh no, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Finally, for every bright blue student in detention, I sometimes swear to make video baboons, comic balloons, and widescreen buffoons available in the detention crow.
Oh wow. This feels like maybe a blow up too, or a zoom out.
This was a zoom out. Originally, it was just those guys in the center, and I zoomed out, and then I got these guys doing like interpretive dance in front of them, and I was like, "This is great."
It's so bizarre, and I don't like their detention. I think I want to go back to pizza detention, please,
It's very narrow, and it feels like it's inside a train,
or some kind of barn,
or a cattle, like a stable or something. It could do that. It could be that too. But the weird uniforms and the fact that they're they're kind of baboon men, because they're like monkey men. So remember, a vote for Doris today is a vote for a crazy school tomorrow. Dor, save Yoris!
Wow. Almost say Ferris, almost.
Right? But Yoris is funnier. Dor, save Yoris!
Oh my
Which
goodness,
is funny
that
because
is
Doris
wild.
isn't running, Glenn's running, but we're voting for Doris apparently. So
Yeah, maybe she's just running mate, so I forgot to mention.
or maybe she's his opponent, so he's trying to make a good school, and if you vote for her, it's a crazy school tomorrow. So don't vote for Doris.
Fair. I like it.
All right, that's it. Are you ready for some honorable mentions?
I can't wait.
All right,
Sorry.
here we go.
That is so weird. What the? I mean,
So
what is this person?
Our school is voting for the wet president.
Oh, that is so strange. You're not. Oh gosh.
Our school is voting for the wet president.
Ugh. Goodness gracious, no.
That is the most unappetizing pizza I have ever seen. Looks like something bled all over it.
Yeah. I'm gonna pretend it's strawberry jam because my mind
strawberry
can handle
jam.
that.
My fellow jalapenos, I know the fluffy changes you want and clumsily deserve.
Oh, more horrendous, horrid pizza. It's like
They made faces
they
on the
put-
pizza.
you know how when ketchup is left out, it turns kind of black over time.
Yes,
That's what it looks like.
and I was gonna mention that their sauce is off unless they're doing something really weird and it's like a plum sauce or something and it's purple. But yeah, the sauce is weirdly purple. But they made faces out of dough, and that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's dough. I thought it was cheese, but
Oh, it could be.
anyway.
Oh, it could be. I mean, they could have tried. Excuse me. They could have carved it out of cheese.
Transformers.
I will expand the lunch menu to include side salad burgers and cheese stuffed best friends, and Warmex if you so desire. And it's Christmas time apparently.
Yeah, and they've got some really cool. Nothing that looks like hamburger pizza. Hamburger what?
Side salad burgers. side
side
salad
salad
burgers,
burgers.
and cheese stuffed best friends. Yeah. And that is it. That is the end of my Madlib for tonight.
Oh wow.
Well, that is going to do it for tonight's episode of MidJourney Madlibs. Thank you for coming by and watching the video. Brent, thank you for hosting this with me as usual. It was a blast.
Can you believe it? We have one more episode
I know.
this season.
One more episode, guys. Thursday is our last episode of the season, so make sure you tune in. Make sure you click on like and subscribe before you leave. We'll see you guys on Thursday for the season finale.
Like and subscribe.
The algorithm demands it.